if you talk about the Indian financial industry, we see very interesting trends. And at the same time, we are actually seeing that there are some challenging times that they are kind of going through. When I say interesting, it's basically we see that the industry is opening up to many new players. We have RBI recently announcing that they are giving licenses on the tap to the small finance banks. The payment banks have come up. The fintechs are, of course, disrupting the market. And of course, the growing fintech industry, which has put up the Indian banking ecosystem right at the global epicenter. In fact, it's the technology use and ease of access to distributed consumer data collection sources that has led to the evolution of the digital banking and providing capabilities to the financial institutions to take faster decisions. Having said this, of course, the industry is also reeling under some kind of challenges and it's coming under pressure. We are all very aware about the recent liquidity crisis that NBFCs have been facing, and the speakers before me did speak about it. On the bank side also, there have been challenges. There have been rising NPAs and provisions. The rural branches don't do as well. Many of them run into losses. And of course, there's been a slow progress in terms of the credit offtake, especially on the priority sector. A rollout of an initiative like co-origination of loans by the regulator provides the right opportunity for banks and NBFCs to come together and transform their approach to lending, especially to the SME and the priority sector. And of course, benefit mutually in the process to address some of the challenges that I just spoke about. So when it comes to co-origination, it requires banks and NBFCs to collaborate together. And these are two separate set of entities in terms of how they are created, how they are regulated, right? The customer demographics, the segments, the geographies that they serve are also different. But having said this, they need to come together to make this particular business model work. And which is where, when something like this has to happen, it's but expected that there will be challenges. But I think what we believe that technology and standardization would largely address some of these challenges, that would come in its way. When we talk about standardization, I think it's imperative that some bit of it is really required for this initiative to be effective. In fact, if there is some common ground that the banks and NBFCs could come up with to do this business, it would actually kind of solve a lot of problems and make life a lot more easier for many people, especially because there are going to be challenges, some known, some that would be actually discovered as the business would go on. So we, as leading provider of lending solutions in India, where it is highly likely that one of the entities which will get into this arrangement would actually be running their operations on Nucleus system, right? We thought it is imperative that we understand, explore, and elucidate the challenges that are likely to come up, right? And possibly share with you all in terms of possible ways of handling it.